Do you consider yourself a misogynist?
Never for a single second.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst apologies from brands.
This afternoon, Pepsi pulled the ad and apologized.
And we missed the mark in thoughtfully representing women of color, and we deeply regret the offense that it's caused.
While we're disappointed in how some have misinterpreted this commercial, we're encouraged by and grateful for the outpouring of support.
For this list, we're looking at specific brands that royally messed up and provided a hilariously bad or even offensive apology. Which of these apologies do you find the most heinous? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Budweiser. This beer company has actually produced numerous apologies. Back in 2015, the brand got in trouble for their #UpForWhatever campaign, as the label read, quote, "the perfect beer for removing no from your vocabulary for the night."
And that image on the label quickly became the center of attention on social media.
When called out on the insensitive slogan, Budweiser owner Alexander Lambrecht went on the defensive, claiming that the campaign, quote, "has inspired millions of consumers to engage with our brand in a positive and lighthearted way."
We would never condone disrespectful or irresponsible behavior.
It was not the type of heartfelt response people were expecting. In 2019, Budweiser creatively apologized for sexist ads from the 50s and 60s, reimagining posters in the same vintage style but updating them with more modern sensibilities. Number 9. Volkswagen. As some may remember, the fall of 2015 was a hot time for Volkswagen. The EPA revealed that the German company was knowingly violating the Clean Air Act by cheating at emissions testing. The cars would meet standards during the testing itself thanks to specially programmed diesel engines, but when on the road, the cars were spewing 40 times more pollutants, an amount that would have easily prevented the vehicles from passing.
The EPA, the Environmental Protection Authority, says they cause asthma and respiratory problems.
Chief Executive Martin Winterkorn defended himself, claiming that he was unaware of the company's maleficence. Not only that, but the company provided a horribly misguided apology by offering its clientele $500 off their next Volkswagen.
And in my German words, we have totally screwed up.
Number 8. Peloton. The main products of this New York-based company are treadmills and stationary bikes equipped with TVs that allow its users to stream professional classes from home. For the 2019 holiday season, Peloton released a commercial that sees a man giving his wife a stationary bike.
All right, first ride. I'm a little nervous, but excited. Let's do this.
The commercial was seemingly implying that he wasn't happy with his wife's physical appearance and was encouraging her to lose weight. As such, it was widely criticized and deemed sexist by many. Peloton offered a non-apology in return, stating, quote, "We're disappointed in how some have misinterpreted this commercial." It's the classic deflective apology, putting the onus on the consumer rather than taking the blame for a misguided advertisement.
Thank you.
Number 7. Brewdog. Popular Scottish brewery Brewdog has endured numerous controversies throughout its short life, and these often aren't helped by pithy and insincere apologies. Responsible drinking advocates Portman Group took issue with the brand's marketing that emphasized the beer's intoxicating effects, and in response, Brewdog stated, quote, "We are sorry for never giving a bleep about anything the Portman Group has to say." And in June of 2021, hundreds of ex-staff accused the brewery of fostering a toxic workplace that even led to mental illness.
More than 300 former employees have signed an open letter accusing the company's founders of an aggressive culture that excused sexism and misogyny.
Following an apology and an internal note, the ex-staff members wrote, quote, "We want you to know that we categorically refute everything suggested in this note," while calling the statements, quote, "grotesque."
Obviously, in this instance, we've let some individuals down on their journey with us. We apologise for that. We're going to look to address that.
Number 6. Wayfair.
Last week, employees learned about an order for about $200,000 worth of bedroom furniture placed by BCFS.
Back in June of 2019, the employees of e-commerce company Wayfair walked off the job after discovering that they were selling bedroom furniture to migrant detention centers. Wayfair management refused to apologize for the controversy, stating in a response letter, quote, "As a retailer, it is standard practice to fulfill orders for all customers, and we believe it is our business to sell to any customer who is acting within the laws of the countries within which we operate."
When we see something like this, we want to be like, no, you know what, this is not a customer we want to have.
Instead, Wayfair co-founder Steve Conine personally met with his employees and guaranteed that the company would donate an undisclosed amount of money to charity.
$100,000 donation to the Red Cross? Great, it's not what we asked for.
Number 5. Dove. In October of 2017, Dove posted a controversial advertisement to Facebook that depicted a black woman removing her shirt and turning into a white woman. The ad quickly went viral and was widely criticized for being racist.
The ad was immediately shared by social media users who say it was racially insensitive.
Dove removed the ad from Facebook and issued an apology, stating, quote, "An image we recently posted on Facebook missed the mark in representing women of color thoughtfully. We deeply regret the offense it caused." The language employed in the apology was also widely criticized, specifically the company's use of "missed the mark." For some, this was not Dove taking responsibility or acknowledging its mistake, but simply admitting that the ad had caused offense.
You can do better than miss the mark.
Number 4. Equifax. In the summer of 2017, credit reporting agency Equifax suffered a catastrophic data breach when hackers accessed the credit records of over 140 million people.
Half of all Americans potentially exposed, their highly sensitive personal information now in the hands of hackers.
It took Equifax 6 weeks to notify customers, and the company ended up paying $575 million in settlements. Equifax CEO Richard F. Smith apologized with a lengthy op-ed in USA Today, acknowledging the, quote, "concern and frustration that the event caused, while also encouraging its clientele to enroll in identity theft protection.
Today is a humbling experience for all of us. Equifax will not be defined by this incident.
Affected customers didn't care for the advice or the apology, especially when it was coming from the CEO. Finally acknowledging the mistake, Smith stepped down just a few weeks later, as did the information and security officers.
The CEO is out.
Number 3. Pepsi. Companies love utilizing the old adage, "we missed the mark." It's a sly way of acknowledging controversy without really taking blame or responsibility for the preceding offense. Such was the case with the infamous Pepsi BLM ad of 2017. As everyone probably remembers, the ad in question was accused of trivializing the Black Lives Matter movement, complete with Kendall Jenner unifying the country through the corporate power of Pepsi.
I've been studying commercials for 30 years. Kendall's Pepsi ad is legitimately the worst one I've ever seen.
Pepsi was quick to pull the ad amid the intense backlash, stating, quote, "Clearly we missed the mark and we apologize. We did not intend to make light of any serious issue." Maybe Pepsi can't cure society's ills after all.
Clearly, we missed the mark.
Number 2. United Airlines. 2017 was just a disastrous year for PR. On April 9th, pulmonologist David Dow Dui Ang was forcefully dragged from a United Airlines flight as the company wanted his seat for a deadheading employee.
Video reviewed by NBC News shows Dr. Dow adamant that he would not give up a seat because he had patients to see the next morning.
It's called bumping, and it's a nice way of saying that the airline can kick you off their airplane without prior notice. Dow refused, prompting a physical reaction from security personnel. CEO Oscar Munoz defended the move, using corporate speak by calling Dow's eviction a, quote, reaccommodation, and calling him, quote, belligerent, a description that was disputed by the other passengers. Munoz apologized following further backlash, but for many, it was far too late and came across as insincere.
The first thing I think is important to say is to apologize to Dr. Dow.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. BP. The early 2010s were not a great time for BP. What with the historic oil spill and monumental PR disaster.
That is the ultimate fail-safe mechanism, And for whatever reason, and we don't understand that yet, it failed to operate.
On April 20th, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon suffered a blowout, killing 11, injuring 17, and sending over 200 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. BP CEO Tony Hayward only made the situation worse while apologizing, stating, quote, "There's no one who wants this thing over more than I do. I want my life back."
There's no one who wants this thing over more than I do. I'd like my life back.
The comment was deemed horribly insensitive and tone-deaf, especially considering that 11 people had died in the disaster. He then had to apologize for the apology, and that is never a good look. About 6 months after the spill, Hayward was replaced as CEO.
And the actions of his own company were things that he did not feel direct responsibility for knowing about.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.